If incompetence were a crime, Attorney General Dana Nessel would be in prison for her handling of Flint. Y'all remember Flint? Thousands poisoned, an untold number dead, all because a grubby group of politicos and lawyers up there wanted to make money on a new and totally unnecessary water utility. The outrage lasted for months. And now it's over. It's highly probable that anyone will ever serve a single day behind bars now that the Supreme Court has refused to grant Nessel's office another shortcut. Genesee County Judge Elizabeth Kelly ordered Nessel's office last year to go back and create an independent taint team to determine whether documents her office seized from defendants violated their attorney-client privilege. If you don't know what taint team is, think Trump and the Mar-a-Lago raid. Nessel's team was warned of a need for a taint team, but ignored that advice because they're hacks. Nessel's office fought Kelly's ruling, arguing it would take 2 years and about $40 million more to review some 20 million documents they had taken. A 3-judge Court of Appeals panel upheld Kelly's order in March. Then 2 weeks ago, the Supreme Court refused to hear Nessel's appeal. And so, I'm sorry, Flint, no justice. Let me take you back to 2018 when candidate Nessel exploited the mass poisoning of Vehicle City for personal political gain. Nessel claimed the work done by Special Prosecutor Todd Flood and lead investigator Andy Arena was incompetent. She even insinuated that the pair were lining their pockets with taxpayer money. Now, you all remember, in his career as an FBI special agent in charge, Arena took on Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick, members of the Gambino crime syndicate, and Ohio Congressman James Traficant, which to this day remains the biggest corruption conviction case in the history of the United States. Candidate Nessel promised then, if elected, she would fire both Flood and Arena and tank their, quote, politically charged show trials. And Attorney General Nessel kept that promise. She dropped all the charges against 8 public officials, including 2 emergency managers in 2019, and started over. That's when cooperating witnesses stopped cooperating, and Nessel's inexperienced team, bumbleheads, led by Solicitor General Fadwa Hamoud, who never tried a case in court in her life, they started taking shortcuts. Instead of holding preliminary examinations, Nessel's office used a one-man grand jury to charge former Governor Rick Snyder with willful neglect, a misdemeanor, basically a jaywalking ticket, as well as recharging several others with a new round of the same indictments of manslaughter and misconduct. The Michigan Supreme Court ruled this summer that a one-man grand jury doesn't have the power to issue indictments. So Nessel's team argues that while the Supreme Court ruled the one-man grand jury may not issue indictments, his findings can still be used by her to seek a warrant, which maybe you should have done in the first place. But the problem there is that those findings may have been influenced by the tainted evidence. You get me? You get how stupid this is? Yep. Now, Judge Kelly said she will issue her findings in writing, which is weird because they don't want the press in the courtroom, Flint, to let you know how badly this has gone. And one hopes Judge Kelly issues those findings before the November election so we can make our mind up about Attorney General Nessel. Mm-hmm. Despite assurances from Nessel's office claiming things are moving forward, people in the legal world know time is running out. The switch to the Flint River as a source of drinking water for 85,000 of our people happened almost more than 8 years ago. Evidence has grown cold and memories have grown dark, and the statute of limitations is creeping up depending on the person and the charges. So, it's worth saying again, it's doubtful anyone spends a day behind bars. And Andy Arena says he doesn't think anybody will. And I'm going to quote him. Listen to what Andy Arena says. Justice for the people in the city of Flint, they're not getting justice. Arena says he had built a compelling case showing the architects of the alternative water plant were less than forthright in what they could deliver. But that prong of the case was never pursued by Nessel's office. And if you all were listening to this show a couple weeks ago, Arena said some of these guys, it wasn't their first rodeo. They've been around. They've done this before. They'll do it again. And trust me when I tell you, folks, they're all working at high-paying jobs right now. And you're struggling with the price of eggs. It's an election year. And Nessel, with every setback, shovels more lilacs on the mountain of dung she's created. She should be forced to explain herself. The people of Flint deserve at least that much. And that's the truth. Big tech doesn't like it. Big political parties don't like it. But if you like it, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified. Remember, you can't sleep, watch the news. You want the news? No BS News Hour.